welcome back to another episode of Random Reactions, where this episode we're going to dive right back into the Lapeef Network. Once again, they have a topic talking about if you want to piss me off, buy me something after we've had an argument. So, interesting discussion. So we're going to dive into the video.
You should be interested in enough to study them. If you as a woman or a man know that you're going through a change, or you know a certain thing about yourself, like myself, I'll verbalize when I'm a little bit more reserved. I'll verbalize when, I'm not in the mood, or, you have to verbalize those things, because you don't want someone sitting around like, oh, why is she quiet? Why is she not talking? Did I do something wrong? No, you have to know yourself enough to be able to communicate with your partner what's going on with you. But you also have to take that time to study your partner. It's like watching the tape back, like we were talking about in the previous subject. You have to be able to sit back and not always, wait for your partner to say, oh, I need you to do this, or I need you to do that. No, you watch how they move. You see how they communicate. You see their moods, when they're high, when they're low. That's part of loving your partner. That's part of being in love with your partner. It's an action. You practice that. And so it is your responsibility to study your partner if you want to be married to them. It is your responsibility to get into the groove with who you're with. It's supposed to be like a dance. And it's not going to always be, you see people learn the bachata and all them, them dances. It's not cute. They stepping on each other's toes. The hips ain't moving like they supposed to at first. But then when they get it, they get it.
It's a rhythm. Mm-hmm.
It's a rhythm.
Yeah, so let me ask y'all this, because I noticed we do this thing as millennials. Like love language is a millennial trope. And we do this thing as millennials where we act like we invented everything. So we just make new words up for stuff that is traditionally working the same way it's supposed to work. I think what everybody just said, just encompassed the most important thing in any relationship, which is communication. We all just went in circles to say communication is the most important thing in a relationship. What do y'all think?
I was just about to say, because the reason why I said I feel like love languages is BS is because when you look at love languages, word of affirmation, act of services, receiving gifts, quality time, physical touch, everybody wants that at any particular part of time. It's not like there ain't no one portion of that you just want and you okay with that for the rest of your life.
Right.
Some days you want physical touch. Some days you want words of affirmation. We want it all. So that's the reason why I said love languages don't make any sense, because we want all of it. So, and then, and like, I have to agree with you that we make up these brand new words and these brand new terms to describe shit that we've always been.
Yeah.
But it's not new. It was established in 1992, the 5 languages of love.
It's really about being
millennials. But no, that was a grown-ass man that was born like in the 70s that wrote that book.
White dude.
Hold on. Yeah. And it's often used in Christian doctrines and teachings. And even though, sweetie, you make a good point, even though we want it all, but if you had to choose, the scientific portion of it is you would prioritize by way
priority, right?
By ranking. So yes. So if you had to choose, if you wanted your wife to touch you, to verbally acknowledge you, to buy you a gift, you would rank those in order, which is why they call it a love language primarily.
I would say though, but
well, I think that was a bunch of baloney. Yeah. Personally, this stage has multifacets of different things going on, right?
Yeah.
Take your time.
Yeah,
Take your time.
I have to, because I don't want to be disrespectful.
Take your time.
Talking about his love language.
Love language is not real.
It's not real.
But it is a real thing in a relationship and how you express your love. But the idea or concept that like I solely like this is not a real thing, because everybody prioritizes all of these things differently, and they prioritize it differently day by day. One day I might really want to be loved on, hugged on, and all that.
Yeah.
Right. The next day I might want somebody to go buy me a PlayStation 5. The next day, I might want somebody to tell me that I'm the greatest guy that ever walked this earth.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And then like the next day, I might not want any of that at all. But
yeah.
So
I got you.
yeah, like and just I agree with the sentiment behind it. Is that like we need to learn how to like communicate. Ultimately, what they were trying to say is communication is key. Communicating and expressing your wants and needs is what's necessary in order to have a healthy and loving relationship. And
you're totally true. And to piggyback on what you were saying is what I was trying to say too is like if you ended a relationship from what she was saying, like my girl, Real Precious, she was saying,
Precious.
like you don't
turn.
If I should know if you're upset. You see what I'm saying? If something is going on with you, if we in a relationship, I'm supposed to know you well enough to know if you're not having a good day. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? We together. I'm supposed to know this. Now I might not know exactly what's wrong.
Yeah.
And that's
I'm supposed to know
you should be able to read the person.
Something is not right.
Body language, etc.
Right. I should be able to know something is not right.
Quick.
And I should be understanding enough to know that it's just not gonna come out that easy. Like I'm mad because you don't tell me what's wrong and I don't know how to fix it. Sometimes you go through things, if you know things, sometimes you got to know when to move off, and that goes off on the man too. So if I'm having a bad day, you might not be able to fix that situation. You should know to back off for a second. You see what I'm saying? Because it might not be. It's not you per se. It's something else is going on. Allow for this cycle to move a little bit. And just like if you having a bad day, it might not be me.
Okay.
I can't fix it, but I'm gonna have to allow your cycle to go on to get to where you need to be. I should be understanding enough to understand that. Okay. And not take it personal to be like, oh, so you gonna be mad at me.
Okay. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, I look at the situation like you said, you can address it. And like I said, kind of like you say, you get to learn somebody's behavior over a period of time. And you know how, you pretty much know when they happy or not happy. So that don't take long. So when you're aware of these situations, you can say, is there anything I could do? Or because I notice something's not right with you. So depending how they receive that is how you gonna react to that. Now you can extend a vine and then they might return. Now this is the thing, being in a relationship and like I say, everybody ain't gotta be happy every day, but if you're going through something, maybe at that particular time, you don't want to share what's going on with you. So be respectful of the other person. If they just talking to you and trying to relate or notice something wrong with you, and you might want to tell them back that at this particular time, I just don't really want to talk about that. And I just kind of, we'll get back to it, but just let me know, because you can't tell me I don't know that something ain't wrong. And by your behavior, by your reaction. But if something wrong and you just, like I said, you shouldn't badger anybody, anything. But you do want to figure out what can I do, or if it's something I can do, or if it's even me. Because obviously when your behavior changes, something made that happen. So if I don't know what it is, I can't just sit there and not just act like I don't know that.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And so that's the thing that I've had to deal with a lot. And it's really difficult whenever somebody doesn't really understand themselves and what they're going through. Right. Because as you're forming and going through the years, like I'm developing while these people also develop and trying to understand how to bounce back off of somebody in a relationship. Y'all's perspective is great because y'all have already formed yourselves into the men who you pretty much are gonna be.
Hope.
Right?
I got plenty of change in me.
Right. you know. But for the most part, yeah, y'all pretty much said who y'all are. So it's like a very hard thing to do for somebody in my age because like, first off, the girl ain't gonna tell you nothing. It's like, man,
no,
that's already like hard as can be.
That's not gonna change. In
I was about to say it's not. We ain't getting the answer either,
right?
But not what I'm trying to say.
But you might can understand it better over a period of time,
right?
But you ain't receiving that. I ain't getting that answer either. You got to
learn
to work with not receiving this answer and figuring out the answer.
Well, no, I'm asking you, are you a moody person?
No.
I'd say
could you find yourself moody?
Yeah.
Could you find yourself sometime not easy to understand?
Yes.
So hold up.
Right.
So you find yourself like that, right?
Yes.
You get in a relationship with somebody else to find themselves like that.
Right.
Y'all gonna have some issues.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be some, y'all can fix them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as y'all get a little bit older, because I mean, like you say, as when you're young and vibrant, this new age, young and vibrant, y'all do have issues. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's a lot of stuff out there. It just y'all are under a tremendous amount of pressure as youth today. I would have to say that. I am so glad that I was not under that type of pressure.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I don't know if I could have handled it or not because it is rough.
Right.
It's rough. So I commend you, the youth today. If you can stand in there, make it on through there and get on. I commend you. But I just don't know if I could have handled this type of pressure that y'all are under, that I don't know if I could have handled all this stuff. I don't want to know all this stuff then. I was all about having a good time. You see what I'm saying? And this stuff don't even resonate good time to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching that. I'm like, man, I should be doing something else, popping willies somewhere, and chasing something. And I'm sitting up here listening to Buzzer talking about signing prenups and Jesus. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? In the same breath. Right. And I'm mad about it.
Right. I will admit that's still true today. There are people out here just trying to have a good time.
Right.
And
you got to.
But
I hope
when it comes to like developing the relationship, these are the things that you got to take into account because like everybody's on this. Everybody is seeing this type of stuff for content and everything. So like this has become like a societal norm to like try to openly discuss relationships and how to like be loved and how to love somebody and all that, right? And man, it is a lot of pressure, but you know, I mean, it's the same thing that humanity is having to deal with. It's just in your face now.
Yeah, just deal with it.
Right.
Just to point back to what they were talking about. They were talking about like going back to love language. A lot of times, people in general, whether it's male or female, they don't always want somebody to have to ask questions. They don't want to have people always have to communicate. Like Greg was talking about earlier. If you know this person well enough, you should just know. If you don't know them, then you're asking questions. It's like, why you always got to ask, like, if I'm okay or if I need something. Like, you should be able to figure it out after a while. Like, now, sometimes, they do make it hard, and you do have to just, like, really, hey, I really don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Like, I really don't know.
I really don't have a clue, and I need a solution here. So please, help me out.
And I don't like the fact that you're hating on me because I don't know or mad at me because I don't know. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, like I have no idea.
Just sit there and wait.
But like sometimes, but if you're always in a situation where you have to like constantly be
like that's not good.
And it's going to become irritating to your partner.
And then that's something that I have brought up. People need to understand themselves and their feelings and emotions before they go into a relationship and try to get somebody else to understand them and their feelings.
It's sort of like anytime somebody go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, you were about to say something.
Oh, okay. I was about to say a lot of times going into a relationship, just like you said, people need to understand their feelings, emotions, and everything. But you also need to understand what you finna attach yourself to. You got your feelings and emotions, and this other person, sometimes we let the physical get us involved with somebody. And then when we start learning more about the mental, that's where the situations start popping up. So, and sometimes we will let the physical lead because we more into it. You know what I'm saying? And thinking, well, mentally I can overcome some things. You know, but at the end of the day, you got to have both before you actually strive to wanting to be in this relationship and in a long-term lasting relationship. Because like I said, and sometimes people will say you should like be best friends. You know, something like that, you know, be able to relate like that. Because if you are best friend, usually you keep your best friend forever.
Right.
You know, most of the people I've been friends with,
really understand your friend, yeah.
I'm still friends with. You know what I'm saying? Now, the people I associated with, we come around, I see them, we cool, but I don't view them as a friend because our friends associate all the time. So in your relationship, you might want to develop that part or have some semblance of that in your relationship before you try to move towards a marriage and a commitment.
And that is fine and dandy, Father. That is great. That is actually very responsible advice. The problem is
ain't happening.
People are toxic out here.
Yeah.
As soon as I try to be a best friend with a girl, I'm forever.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, that's it. I was gonna say I ain't gonna step on friends. I'm not gonna step on friends.
We understand. We understand. I promise. But the problem is that's not going to play out like how you're saying.
Because it's not. It goes back to something we kind of want on our podcast, being cool and not cool.
Right, yeah.
And it's kind of the way you present it.
You're corny because you were nice.
Right.
So,
you're corny because you care.
Yeah.
So you almost got to put an illusion on or something to make them feel a certain type of way. And that's sad. Right. But at the end of the day, if you want it to last, you got to develop some type of connection between each other that has an everlasting type feel to it.
Right. But it's not friends. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's not friends because let me tell you why it's not friends. It can't be friends. If you go to a club, you and your wife go to the club as friends, and y'all friends, y'all split 50-50. You see what I'm saying? Somebody has got to be in charge of a relationship. You see what I'm saying? Friends are 50-50. You get what I'm saying?
And I'm good with that. It's like you started that way. And then that's what I'm saying. So if you actually started that way, you had that mutual respect for each other that if you ain't got it, I never looked at you as you had to have it. We just got together for fun. And now we together, I'm taking you out to eat, or you taking me out to eat, or you taking me on a date, or I'm taking you on a date. And all of a sudden you in this relationship, you have that feel there is no insecurities here. So at some point you like, well, we good with each other. And then you develop on. And then like I said, now if you want to at some point take on more of the initiative, you can.
You have to.
But at some point, I'm saying you can.
You have to.
But you started with a scenario where you were both friends to a certain and didn't mind somebody stepping up or doing something or never even questioned it a point that, hey, come on, pick me up. I'm gonna take you out to eat.
How many
people just doing it? It is not an argument.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why that's not true. Because how many times have you had a serious relationship with a girl that was a friend? Now you might be able to go kick it with this girl and have fun with this girl because y'all was friends. But how many times has there been a serious relationship with a girl that you would consider a friend? No, you don't have those type of relationships like that. I'm not saying that this is not necessary. I'm thinking. How many times does it work then?
We're saying the same stuff. We need to get back to the video. We need to finish it. All right, let's go ahead and finish the video.
Don't work.
Boom, we were right here.
You would rank those in order, which is why they call it a love language primarily.
I would say though, but it's fleeting though. It's almost like happiness.
I thought the point was to identify the 5 different components of love. So you can be getting gifts all day without the other 4. would you say he loves you, or would you say she loves you all day and you ain't getting nothing else? Would you say she love you? That's affection. So I think, like Sheba is saying, yeah, we want all those things to identify whether someone loves you or not, because if you stop doing them, you might say, oh, this person doesn't love me. But what would you say I want above all? You might not care too much about gifts, but I know I need to constantly hear words of affirmation. I need to constantly get physical touch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this all come from a female mindset.
No, it's not.
Hold on, let me finish. Don't interrupt, Queen Sheba. This all come from a female mindset. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to notice they get a boost of attraction towards you whenever you're able to be keen on their behaviors and how they react and all this stuff without them having to say it. You get what I'm saying? It's like a dopamine for a woman to be able to know how she's feeling at any given moment and know what she wants at any given moment. It's an attraction that she don't have to actually go out and tell you this is how she want to be touched. This is how she want to be talked to. This is how she want to be listened to. This is how she want to have sex and all that stuff. I'm starting to see that it's an attraction that's mixed up with it for a female. We'll tell you, if we don't get attracted to you by you knowing that, oh shit, I want some head now. We get the same satisfaction by telling you, hey, look, I want some head now. It's nothing for us. It's all a female trait.
So men don't get excited when women.
Learning how to love a man is a female trait, or learning how to love a woman. Is love only something that you?
Bruce is just trolling.
Yeah.
So y'all don't love? What the hell?
He trying to go viral.
How does what I said suggest that a man doesn't want love?
Well, because if we can, we'd have to first universally agree on a panel. Can we say that those 5 components that they list could consist of when you would say someone loves you? And then I guess I would ask you personally, would you agree with the things on that list? If a woman did all those things or you did it, would you say I'm doing this because I love you? Or would you say, no, these are the 5 things that I
you could say you love them, but you're not. But it doesn't mean just because you don't say that you're going to do these things, or you don't ask the person, what do you want from me? Or how do you feel about today? What do you want to do today? And she tell you what you want to do today. That doesn't exclude love.
But it's not the 5 love languages isn't words, actions.
The 5 love languages, from what I understand, is a substitution from not verbally saying everything that you want your partner to do.
No, that's not what it is. Let me explain.
I read the love languages. Let me explain it. Let me just finish my point. I read the love languages, and from my
you ain't finished your point.
Yeah, Buzzer is tripping. Right? Yeah. Hold on, stop. He trolling. How he trying to go viral? He trying to, but because that's some baloney.
Right.
To act like you don't want any of that.
Right. Because the honest God truth is how you get and how you retain is 2 different things.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You might do a lot to get, and you might have to do something else to retain.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that just seemed like it was.
Yeah, some troll that I'm trying to go. I'm trying to go get famous.
Right. Now, one thing I will say, on the opposite end, the 5 love languages thing just seems like an easy way to give people a cop out. Here's a book to buy to love your spouse.
How to love your lady. Right, yeah. How to respect your man.
5 good things for
right. Yeah. The love manual. It's an easy way to capitalize and make. America's about capitalizing. All the time.
But I will give this one thing. Like I said, I think Greg might have touched on that. He didn't go in depth, but it's like when you are wrong in a relationship, it do trigger you to do something in response to being wrong.
Only if you love someone. If you love them, right? If you love them, if you wrong and just wrong,
if you don't care about
if you don't care, you don't care about being wrong.
Yeah, but let them finish.
You have to care about somebody to fix the problem. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm basing this probably on Karen, G. Because you're in a marriage.
We ain't
I'm basing it on Karen. G. Okay. So when somebody does something wrong, when you individually does something wrong in a relation, and you know beyond a doubt you were wrong. Now, even sometimes you might not totally disagree with how maybe it came about, but you know when you were wrong. So sometimes you got to ask yourself, and then you know when you really hurt your companion. You know, the actions of what you did really hurt them. So this is when you have to go out and splurge on this gift out of nowhere, because I think I had to do that right around sometime I had to do something else. So I had a gift lined up, but I had to get a pre-gift to offset the gift. So I wind up costing myself some money, but it was all from the heart. Yeah. So just know sometimes you got to do something to alleviate the problem that you may have created.
But now here's the question I'll pose for you. Are you doing that to alleviate the problem in your mind, or are you doing that to alleviate the problem for them?
Well, basically I'm doing it, first you got to apologize and be sincere about your apology to your wife. If you really, I'm wrong, I know I'm wrong, I'm sorry. And then this is just something you would do to suggest, on top of being sorry and apologizing and regretting what you did, you just want to show a love, or, some type, so give her something that she care about, a like. And then that suggests, it's almost like a bribery, but you did apologize, but you do know I'm wrong and I want to go an extra step to try to make up for it. So I do something of that sort.
So so his question was, who is it done for? You
are you doing
or
it
the individual?
I'm doing it for both of us because I'm sorry.
That's valid.
I'm sorry.
Right.
And I want to like I just said, I want to take it to another step. I done did everything. I apologize. I done admitted I'm wrong. I done did all that. So I'm just saying, with this gift, you just taking it to another step to show another level I'm sorry. Because sometimes it's easy, you can say, oh, I'm sorry, and then move on. But sometimes you do want to give somebody something to just show them that, hey, not only was I sorry.
On the magnitude
of how I'm sorry.
All it says is that you really mean it. That's all.
Yeah, I'm saying not only I'm sorry, I'm going to get you this gift and just show you something to make you feel
it depends on how sorry you are.
What, on top of what I done. I just want to show you, give you a gesture of love.
I was real wrong.
Okay. Yeah, that's it.
That's what you say. Yeah.
Yes.
Gift. Along with sorry and apology means I'm real wrong.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You saying I'm wrong, so I'm gonna go all the steps to clarify I'm right.
We got it.
Try to write the shit.
All right, we got it. We got it.
I'm real
wrong. Okay. All right. Well, man, I think that's going to do it with this episode of Random Reactions. All right, we'll be back to you again here in the future, and we'll be back with you soon.
He's still funny, though.
All right. Yeah.
He's still funny.
Your boy.
He's still funny.
Peace.
Peace.
Hi. Thanks for watching. If you liked that video, please hit the button below and subscribe to the channel. It goes a long way, and, well, we have goals around here. Trying to make it to 1 million. Thanks for listening.